Hey, everybody, and welcome to Motor Monday.
My name's Jaime Spencer. I've been working full-time for 22 years as a school-based occupational therapist. I have a very full life as a busy toddler mama and wife, running my small but mighty business as an OT entrepreneur and advocating for equality for school-based occupational therapists everywhere. I am in the trenches with you. I'm working full-time in a school, and I know what it's like to be overwhelmed and inundated with work at times. And my mission in life and my mission with these Motor Monday videos is to help you to help your kids.
So, today we're going to be talking all about handwriting and how to assess letter formation. This is a favorite topic of mine, and we have to first start out with what handwriting program are our students learning from. So let's take a look. There are so many different that you can pick from, but we want to, of course, see what the school is teaching. And that is how we will assess the child's progress and if they're doing it correctly or not, because we want to make sure that we're assessing them in the way that they are being taught letter formation. So just a few examples that I have on the board here are Zener Bloser, Learning Without Tears, and then the Foundation's reading program actually has a small handwriting component as well. So we have to do the work first to find out how are our children learning how to write their letters. Now, on that note, there are a few words that I want to clear up. Motor memory is when the child can write the letter without a visual model. So when we're assessing motor memory, we want to see, can that child make the letter that we ask them to make without looking around or looking at the word wall or looking at a letter strip on the desk? When we're assessing motor memory, we're really looking to see, do they need a visual cue or do they know what the letter looks like and how to make it? Letter recognition, on the other hand, relies on visual cues. So a child needs to develop letter recognition first. They develop letter recognition by playing with letter games, alphabet, tiles, all those other fun things that are around. But in order to assess letter recognition, they need to have the letter in front of them. The reason I bring this up is because a lot of times I'll see teachers and therapists assessing how a child does handwriting, and they're just kind of assessing it in a general manner. And that's okay. But we do want to know, can the child write the letter without copying it? So if we give the child a sheet of letters and we say, write these letters, we're not necessarily finding out if they know what the letter is, and we're not finding out if they can make the letter without having something to copy from. At the end, we also want to know, can they form the letter correctly? And I'm going to talk a little bit more about that right now. You can learn all about different handwriting skills and how to teach handwriting and how to progress monitor on my website, missjamiot.com/learn. I've also got a free handwriting 101 email series, which is chock full of little tips and tricks with great strategies and ideas for how you can help your kids to get down their handwriting skills. You can check this out at missjamiot.com HW101. You can sign up for the free handwriting email series and you'll receive a 25-page freebie packet, including the motor memory letter recognition assessment that I'm right about to show you. It also includes this handy dandy guide of how to teach letters in groups. I personally love to teach letters in groups because I want to teach children so that they develop the motor memory. What I mean is, I want them to have the automaticity to make the letters on their own without having to think about it, so that they can concentrate on the information that they're getting out rather than concentrating on how to write the letter. So let's get into how to assess letter formation. This picture right here is just one of 4 different letter assessments that you'll receive in your handwriting email series. You can use it all throughout the year, and you can use it interchangeably for capital or lowercase, which is great. So I like to use that sheet, and I have the children look at the image. Let me just go back to that. They look at the image that is next to the box, and then I ask them, what is that? It's an apple. What letter does apple start with? And then they say A, and then I have them write an A. Whether I want them to write lowercase or capital, that's up to me, or depends on what I'm progress monitoring. So complete letter formation includes not only where the child starts the letter, but then how they finish it. So right here, we can see at the top, this child had put a start spot at the top left of N, and that's correct. If they had put it at the bottom left of N, let me take my face out of the way, then that would be incorrect. So if I was just assessing start spot, I would stop there. But if I'm assessing the complete letter formation, I now want to look at what else did the child do? After they made their start spot and did the first stroke, did they finish the letter correctly? Now, again, that depends on what handwriting program they're using. Most handwriting programs have similar formations, but there are a few tiny little differences among some of the programs. So it's a good idea to review what the child's being taught and review what the letter formations say in that program before you assess. So on this one right here, and when we look at the next steps, on the top end, the child started the letter correctly. They started it in the right spot and they did a stroke down. Then they picked up their pencil and went back to the start spot and they did a down and an up. Totally correct according to most of the handwriting programs that I know. But now on the bottom end, the child did the first stroke, the start spot in the right spot, the line down, but rather than picking up their pencil and finishing the letter, they drove back up the line, which it, of course, is not the end of the world, but according to letter formations and letter handwriting programs, that is the incorrect movement. So we would mark that incorrect for letter formation. Here's another example. When it comes to lowercase r, if I'm just looking at the start spot, it should start at the top of the R. So the child should start there, go down, and come back up. If they started in the top corner right here, like they did on the left, that would be correct when I'm assessing start spot. But if if they started at the end of the hook, which they sometimes do, or maybe they started at the bottom, then that would be incorrect for the start spot. Again, when we're assessing letter formation, we're looking at the whole letter. So not just where they started it, but how they finished it. So on the top R over here on the right, they started it in the right spot. They went down, then they came back up and over. That would be correct. For the next step on the bottom one, they started their letter correctly, started at the top, went down, but then instead of tracing back up as we want them to, this child went back to the beginning of the hook and made a second stroke. That would be marked incorrect for letter formation. So I hope that makes sense. When I assess letter formation, I generally am assessing the whole letter formation. I don't generally tease out just the start spot unless the child has a goal that's only about where they start their letters. Usually, if we're concentrating on function, we want to know if the child's handwriting is legible. Are they making their letters correctly? So if that's the case, we're going to be looking at the complete letter formation, which includes the start spot and whatever they do next. So what I like to do is use this letter assessment periodically throughout the year. I print out there's 4 different versions of it, so the child doesn't get used to exactly what it looks like. So I print out all 4. We want to make sure that when we are assessing our students' handwriting, that the goals that we put forth for them are functional, of course, but also SMART goals. They should be specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and timely. So when we talk about specific, we're really getting into exactly what do we want to happen? What exactly do we want the child to do? Measurable, this gives us a way to know how the child has achieved the goal. How will we know when they've met that goal? Attainable, we need to make sure that the goal is realistic and that the child would be able to accomplish it by the end of the year. And relevant, why does this goal matter? Why is it even something that we're working on? How is it going to impact the child in the classroom? And last of all, timely. When do we think that the child is going to achieve this goal? So a good example for a letter formation goal could be the student will write frog jump letters, and you can see here that I specified what letters I meant by that because I don't know if the therapist or teacher who's coming after me knows what I mean by that. This child is using the handwriting without tears method as I specify in the goal. So the child will write the frog jump capital letters using the handwriting without tears method, meaning handwriting without tears recommended letter formations, in 2 out of 3 treatment sessions independently, no one's helping them, without a visual model. So that means they're writing the letters from memory, not while I show them a letter and then they write it. I'm going to tell them the letter and they're going to be able to produce it independently with proper letter formation. And then again, for increased graphomotor skills. Why am I doing this? Why is this relevant? Because we want to improve their handwriting and their legibility. And then our end goal, when will this be achieved by? June 2023. This is a great example of a SMART goal for letter formation. Using these assessment packets can really help you to keep track of your students' gains throughout the year and also help you to keep data and measurements on what you're doing. It can help you to reevaluate the goal if the child isn't making the progress you'd like to see, or perhaps to reevaluate the treatment methods and the lessons that you're planning in order to help them meet this goal. So I hope that you'll check out this freebie packet. It's really, really helpful, and I've come to rely on it quite heavily throughout the years. Don't forget to go to missjamiot.com/learn. I've also got a great handwriting webinar that simplifies the process of teaching kids how to write. If you like this video, please give us a thumbs up, subscribe, hit all the buttons. Let's share the OT love and help out our kids as much as we can. Have a great day, everybody.